Hi guys, and welcome to the Product Village. My name is Nathan Flo Rocker. Hope you guys are good. Now today we are going to be having a comparison between two products from ULANZI. The first is going to be the VL110, whilst the second is going to be the VL120. I got this light off of Camera Joint. Camera Joint is your one-stop shop to everything cinematography and photography. Trust me when I tell you, these guys actually know what they are doing. They don't just sell the products. They have, they have knowledge about these products. They know what each one does. Unlike when you just get into a shop and, you want to buy stuff and they say, hey, they said this is good. Those guys actually know what they're doing. Now, if you haven't watched my review of the ULANZI VL110 or the ULANZI VL120, you can click the link above. I'm going to drop both links so you get to watch what both of them actually do. Now, these two lights are actually very good. The only major difference you get to see physically is their build. Now, the VL110 has a fluorescent shape, whilst the VL120, looks like a rectangle. Now, they are both plastic. They both have the same sort of build. There are just a few major differences between both. I'm going to put on both so you sort of see how they both power. I'm going to put each one of them on fluorescent, which is 9,000 Kelvin. And let's just see how powerful they both look. Okay. Voila. Now, there you go. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the VL110 looks way, way, way richer than the VL120. You be the judge. I mean, just have a look at both, right? Look at how bright this is compared to how bright this is. I mean, it's the difference is so clear between both. Now, I'm going to move to the next function of both lights. Now, this is the CCT mode on both, which basically moves from warm white all the way to fluorescent. Now, I'm going to move to the next setting, which is the RGB. This is where you have all the colors. I'm going to move this to RGB likewise. Look at both lights. As far as I'm concerned, the VL110 looks richer than the VL120. Now, usually at the back of my mind, when I hear, products like this is VL110 and this is VL120, somewhere at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, the VL120 is going to be stronger than the VL110. It's sort of like when you look at iPhone, you have an iPhone 14 Pro Max, and then there's the iPhone 15 Pro Max, At the back of my mind, I'm thinking, okay, the 15 Pro Max should be able to do way more than the 14 Pro Max. So I may be wrong, but call me not too savvy. But when I notice that one has 120 and one is 110, I'm thinking that this would do way better. Now, the third setting is the scenes. They both have the capacity to play out 20 scenes. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I believe that the 110 is richer in color compared to the VL120. So let me change that back to, there you go. Now, another advantage I think that the 110 has over the 120 is the fact that if you look at the build, the 110 has two magnets on both sides. There's a magnet here and there's a magnet here. Sadly, the VL120 doesn't have that. It's just flat out plastic. Now, another difference that I find is in the buttons, how the buttons are arranged. If you have a look at the buttons of the VL110, the buttons are a bit concise. They're sort of like straightforward. It's a bit easy to see what it is you are doing. And when you dial in, it's a bit more concise. Now, compared to the VL120, when I try increasing the intensity to 50, for example, maybe I want to drop it to 50, it never gets to 50 on the dot. I have to keep scrolling up a bit. It sort of like goes too much or goes under. I usually have to keep trying to see how I can balance my hand. But with the 110, once I push to 50, it gives me 50. It doesn't move to 51 or move to 49. Another advantage that I think the 110 has over the 120 is the build. Now, with the VL110, it's possible to attach another light here at this end, and you can then have two of this. Sadly, with the VL120, you don't have that. It's just one box and one box only. Of course, both of them have the tripod stand underneath, but I feel that this is way better. Now, in terms of power, you may be asking me, okay, how do you manage the power between both? Now, to be honest, I haven't really maxed out both of them, but from the little usage I have seen, when you push the intensity to 100%, you can get a lot more out of this than the VL120. I may be wrong, but from my use of it, that's what I have noticed is the major difference in terms of battery power, how much they can do. And I think besides those differences, that's it for me. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, okay, you say the VL110 is better than the VL120, but what's the price? Now, in terms of price range, as at today on Amazon, the VL120 goes for $36, while the VL110 goes for $50. Now, you say, okay, obviously, I want to go for something cheap. But this is what you need to think about. Functionality. What do you want to use this light for? That should define what you buy. Obviously, this is like $15, higher than the VL120. But then imagine what you get off of the VL110 that you can't get from the VL120. I would say save up an extra $15 and get yourself this. Now, think of the advantages. You can have two of this in one place. Then there's the magnet. You can easily, attach it to any surface. The richness of the color of the VL110 is way better than the VL120. Of course, they both have one snag. ULANZI has refused to create an app where we can control both lights using our mobile phones. ULANZI, if you're watching this, please give us an application that we can use on our mobile phones, that we can use to control these lights. It would make life sort of easy, because even when you get two of this, actually, you need to set both lights separately. One does not control the other. That's the only snag in terms of controlling both lights. But in terms of functionality, I would say the VL110 wins over the 120. And that is all for the comparison between both. I hope you guys have been able to learn a thing or two, and I've been able to help you make a decision on which light to buy, either the VL110 or the VL120. Until the next time I review another product, it's bye for now. My name is Nathan Floroka. Thank you for coming to the Product Village. Bye.